so easy for us to look and say Jimmy should have just run out of bounds. What's your take on that? I know he's just trying to make a play, but what's his thought process?
I think everyone's the same after it happens. I mean, why don't you just get out of bounds? And I think that's a reminder to all quarterbacks and coaches. I mean, just turn on the tape any Sunday, and you're going to watch 15 plays by quarterbacks jumping over people, not getting out of bounds, doing a little extra to move the chains where it's a hell of a play, and everyone's glad they did it. And then you see some guys get out of bounds, and you're like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And then you have something like this that you're reminded of why you do coach that and why quarterbacks should do it. But those guys are competitive guys who want to do whatever they can to win the game. And you're not assuming just by staying in bounds you're going to tear your knee up. Sometimes you get hit a lot harder because of that, which is what I thought happened until I heard later. But I think that's something that Jimmy will probably look at differently going forward, because I know he'll remember this the rest of his life, and nothing against him. I think happens with everyone. Like I said, you see it every Sunday, and I think that's just a reminder for everyone why that is the obvious coaching point and why you need to stick with that.
The experience that he's missing this season, how big is that? How crucial is that just moving forward into 2019 and beyond?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would have happened, and I don't know what's going to happen next year. But I know I'm extremely excited about Jimmy being here next year. Jimmy is a very talented quarterback. He has played at a high level in the games that he has played. It's very unfortunate. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We were all, it was hard waking up today. We were down, disappointed about it. Because we were looking forward to a lot playing with Jimmy this year and going through the good and the bad that would happen, knowing that he'd benefit from all of it. And now we don't get to do that, and I know Jimmy's really down about it, so are we, but it's still going to be all right. This is part of the league, it's part of the NFL, it's part of life, and you have to adjust to it, and you got to make the best out of it. Jimmy's got the ability to be very successful in this league. He's got the mentality to be very successful in this league. He's not going to get a lot of reps this year now. He's got a lot leading up to this, and now he doesn't. So he gets to sit back and watch, and what's he going to make out of that? I think you can always make things a positive. It'll help him to sit and watch more, especially to sit there and watch CJ go through this, and when we get into the offseason, we'll get an early start. With him going through his rehab and everything, and I think it'll make him that much more hungry next year, and there's not a doubt in my mind that he'll come back and be the exact same guy.
With CJ, you were able to learn a lot about him on the field last year when he was starting. After Jimmy took over, how did he handle that last year? Because he kind of, moved into the background at some point also.
Yeah, I think he handled it very well. I mean, I have a lot of respect for both of those guys, definitely as players, but just as people. And on CJ, we threw him into a tough position that, I keep saying that last year, and he got the crap kicked out of him a bunch and never flinched, didn't change who he was, still wanted to be in there, and was disappointed when we took him out and put Jimmy in, because that's the competitor he is, and he believes he can do it. And so it was hard on him at first, but he was very supportive. He saw how well Jimmy played, and he keeps it real, and he understood it. But he's worked. He hasn't sat back and just been happy with being a backup. I think CJ has very high expectations for himself, and he sees himself being a starter one day, and he's going to get an opportunity now. And this isn't something that he's just surprised him. He's been waiting for this moment, and that's why I know he'll take advantage of it.
So many of the players were very quick to express their confidence in CJ Beathard. What does that say not only about the resilience, but the brotherhood in this locker room?
You have to earn respect. Guys aren't just going to say that to say it, and they're not going to just say it because someone's their friend or a nice guy. It always starts with how you handle yourself on the field. CJ earns a lot of respect how he handles himself on the field. I mean, he's as tough and fearless as anyone I've been around, and guys know he'll hang in there and sling it. And he's not scared to make mistakes, and he'll give us a chance to win. And the way he's handled himself off the field makes the guys that much stronger with him. He went through. He did get demoted last year when we gave Jimmy the starts, and you would have never noticed it on how he handled himself, how he acted, and he's a great person.
Has there been any discussion in the organization about bringing Colin Kaepernick back?
No. There was last year when I think I made that decision just with the style of offense that we wanted to go with, and that's kind of what I said last year. And it's kind of the same situation now. If you're thinking, would there be a different discussion now? I always look into what style of offense I want to do, what style of offense we've been doing for the last 2 years. And when you start to get to these quarterbacks we're talking about, you know, CJ's our guy, and we have Nick Mullins backing him up. So when you get into a third and fourth guy, well, whoever that is, you'd like to bring in guys that you felt you didn't have to change as much of your offense for.